The story begins on a bright day on Earth, but the atmosphere is filled with tension. Suddenly, the sky darkens as a massive holographic projection from the Galactic Empire looms overhead. The image is powerful and intimidating, casting a shadow over cities and landscapes. It warns humanity to stay away from Earth, and the message echoes through the air, chilling everyone who hears it. As the hologram flickers, crackling with energy, it hints at dire consequences for anyone who defies the Empire. People below stare in shock, their hearts racing with fear and uncertainty. The image of the Empire's emblem fills them with dread, making them wonder just how far the Empire will go to enforce their command. Among the crowd, we see key characters responding to the warning. General Bonner, a brave and determined military leader, stands tall with a fierce look in his eyes. He knows that this warning is not just a threat, it is a call to action. Nearby, a skilled pilot practices her flying maneuvers, adrenaline pumping as she prepares for what lies ahead. In another corner, a brilliant scientist works frantically in his lab, developing advanced technology that could turn the tide in humanity's favor. With fear in their hearts and determination in their souls, these characters realize they must unite to face this powerful enemy. The battle for Earth has just begun. Despite the looming threat of the Galactic Empire, humanity stands strong. The warning from the Empire reverberates in the hearts and minds of people all over Earth, but instead of cowering in fear, they decide to fight back. They know that their future is at stake, and together they form a united front against the alien menace. In a central command center, the atmosphere is charged with energy. Soldiers, scientists, and leaders gather to discuss their response to the Empire's threats. The room buzzes with conversation and excitement, as everyone is determined to find a way to protect their home. Large screens line the walls, displaying tactical maps that outline key locations and potential strategies. There are blueprints of advanced weaponry and holographic models of spacecraft, showcasing the latest technology humanity has developed. At the front of the command center stands General Bonner. With his strong voice and commanding presence, he is a beacon of hope for everyone in the room. He looks around at the worried faces of his fellow soldiers and civilians, and he knows they need inspiration. He raises his hand, calling for silence. As the chatter fades away, all eyes turn to him, filled with anticipation. People of Earth, he begins, his voice steady and powerful. We stand at a crossroads. The Galactic Empire thinks they can intimidate us, but they do not understand who we are. We are resilient, brave, and we will not back down. They see us as weak, but together we are strong. We have faced challenges before, and we will face this one too. His words resonate through the room. Soldiers nod in agreement, their spirits lifting. General Bonner continues, "Look at the technology we have developed. Look at the alliances we are forming. We are not alone in this fight. We have the power of unity, of determination. We will stand together as one." As he speaks, the soldiers stand taller, their resolve strengthening. They think of their families, their friends, and their homes. They think of what they stand to lose, and they are ready to fight. General Bonner's passion ignites a fire within them, reminding them of their shared purpose. Around the command center, teams of soldiers prepare for the impending battle. Some are busy checking equipment, ensuring their weapons are ready for action. Others are strategizing, looking at maps and discussing tactics. They divide themselves into groups, each with specific roles to play in the upcoming confrontation. The camaraderie among them is palpable, and laughter breaks out occasionally, providing moments of relief amidst the seriousness of the situation. Meanwhile, scientists work alongside the military personnel, sharing their knowledge of advanced technology. They discuss cloaking devices that will allow human ships to hide from the Empire's radar. Others are working on powerful energy shields that can protect cities from enemy attacks. The teamwork between the military and scientists exemplifies humanity's creativity and ingenuity. As the preparations unfold, the tension in the room transforms into focused determination. Soldiers train in simulators, practicing their maneuvers and combat skills. They run through drills, shouting commands and responding to one another with precision. The command center feels alive with action, and the soldiers are eager to prove their worth. Outside the command center, civilians gather, waiting anxiously for news. Families huddle together, sharing stories and encouraging one another. Children are told tales of heroism, and parents remind them of the strength of humanity. The community spirit shines through as they support their soldiers and each other. Back inside, General Bonner concludes his speech. "We will show the Empire that we are not afraid. We will defend our planet and our people. We will fight for every inch of our home. This is our moment, and we will seize it together." The room erupts into applause. Soldiers cheer, clapping each other on the back, ready to take on whatever challenges lie ahead. They know they have the odds stacked against them, but united, they feel invincible. They are not just fighting for survival, they are fighting for the very essence of humanity. As the command center buzzes with energy and determination, it becomes clear this is the beginning of a great battle, and humanity is ready to face it head-on. The fight for Earth has only just begun, and with every heartbeat, they grow stronger, more united, and more determined to protect their home. As the threat of the Galactic Empire looms ever closer, General Bonner realizes that humanity cannot fight this battle alone. He knows that to stand a chance against the Empire's overwhelming power, he must gather allies from other alien races who have suffered under the Empire's tyranny. With determination in his heart, he prepares to reach out to those who might be willing to join forces with humanity. In a dimly lit room within the command center, General Bonner meets with his trusted advisors. They gather around a large table filled with maps and holographic images of the galaxy. Bonner points to a small, uncharted planet on the map. "This is where we'll start," he says. "The Krell are a small alien race that has faced the Empire's oppression for years. We need to make contact with them and see if they will join us." The Krell are known for their unique abilities. They can manipulate energy, and their technology is advanced, yet they have been living in fear since the Empire took control of their homeworld. Bonner knows that they are strong and resourceful, and if they agree to ally with humanity, it could change the course of the war. With a plan in place, General Bonner sends a message through a secure channel to the Krell. He hopes they will respond positively, but he knows the risks involved. The Empire watches closely, and the Krell may be afraid to trust humans. Yet Bonner believes that hope can bridge the gap between their worlds. As the days pass, tension fills the air. Bonner and his team await a reply, anxiously pacing around the command center. Finally, a response comes through. The Krell leaders have agreed to meet, but only in secret. They are cautious, afraid of the Empire's spies, but they are desperate for help. The meeting takes place on the Krell's home planet, a lush world filled with vibrant colors and exotic plants. The beauty of the planet contrasts sharply with the fear that grips the Krell people. General Bonner arrives with a small team, ready to negotiate. As they land, Bonner feels a mixture of hope and anxiety. He knows that this is a critical moment. The Krell leaders greet Bonner with wary eyes. They are small, delicate beings with shimmering skin that reflects the colors around them. Bonner introduces himself and explains the situation on Earth, expressing humanity's desire to forge an alliance. He speaks of the Empire's cruelty and how their actions have caused suffering across the galaxy. One of the Krell leaders, a wise elder named Lyra, listens intently. She shares the Krell's own story of persecution. "The Empire took our land and our people," she says, her voice filled with sorrow. "They enslaved us and forced us to work for them. We have lived in fear for too long. We want to fight back, but we do not have the strength to do it alone." General Bonner nods, understanding the weight of Lyra's words. He offers the Krell a chance to join humanity in their fight against the Empire. He assures them that together they can stand against tyranny and create a better future. Lyra's eyes shine with hope as she considers Bonner's offer. "Your bravery inspires us," Lyra replies. "We have longed for a chance to fight back, but we have been too afraid. If we join forces, we can show the Empire that we will not be oppressed any longer." With a newfound alliance, General Bonner and the Krell leaders shake hands, sealing their commitment to each other. The atmosphere shifts from tension to determination as they discuss plans for cooperation. The Krell will share their advanced technology and knowledge of the Empire, while humanity will provide the strength and resources needed for battle. As they plan, an emotional bond forms between the two races. General Bonner feels a deep sense of gratitude towards the Krell, understanding that their shared struggles unite them. He realizes that this alliance is not just about military strength, it is about friendship and trust. Together, they begin to strategize their next moves against the Galactic Empire. They discuss how to rally more allies, reaching out to other alien species who might also want to join the fight. With hope and determination in their hearts, General Bonner and the Krell prepare to stand against their common enemy. The fight for freedom is just beginning, and they know that united, they have a fighting chance. The struggle against the Empire will not be easy, but with allies by their side, they feel empowered to face whatever challenges lie ahead. As the alliance between humanity and the Krell solidifies, the urgency to prepare for battle grows stronger. General Bonner knows that they need to rely on advanced technology to stand a chance against the Galactic Empire. With determination in their hearts, scientists and engineers work day and night to develop new tools and weapons that will give them the edge they need. In a high-tech laboratory bustling with activity, teams of scientists gather around tables filled with blueprints and prototypes. They are focused on enhancing humanity's fleet with cutting-edge technology. One of the most exciting projects is the development of cloaking devices that will allow their ships to become invisible to enemy radar. This technology will help them sneak past the Empire's defenses and launch surprise attacks. Dr. Emily, a brilliant engineer, leads the project. Her eyes sparkle with excitement as she explains the cloaking technology to her team. "If we can manipulate light around our ships, we can make them disappear from view. This will give us a huge advantage in battle." The team members nod, feeling inspired by her vision. They gather around screens displaying simulations of the cloaking process, eagerly working to turn their ideas into reality. As the scientists dive deeper into their projects, the atmosphere in the lab is electric. They test various materials and methods, adjusting designs and making quick calculations. Every successful test sends waves of excitement through the team. They know that their hard work could change the course of the war. In another section of the facility, engineers are busy creating AI-controlled drones. These drones are designed to assist human pilots during combat, providing valuable intelligence and firepower. General Bonner believes that having drones in the air will enhance their chances of victory. The lead engineer, Marco, supervises the drone assembly line. He watches as teams work together, assembling the drones with precision. The machines are small but powerful, equipped with high-tech weaponry and sensors. Marco feels a rush of adrenaline as he imagines the drones soaring through the sky, assisting pilots during crucial moments in battle. "Let's run some test flights," he calls out, and the team responds with enthusiasm. The drones are taken to an expansive testing area, where the team sets up a series of targets. They prepare for a series of simulations that will put their creations to the test. As the first drone takes off, everyone watches with bated breath. The drone glides effortlessly into the air, showcasing its impressive speed and agility. Marco monitors the data on his screen, cheering as the drone successfully hits its targets with pinpoint accuracy. "This is it. This is what we need in the upcoming battle," he exclaims. The excitement builds as more drones take to the skies. The test flights are filled with fast-paced action, with drones performing complex maneuvers and executing tactical strategies. The atmosphere is charged with adrenaline, as the team witnesses the fruits of their labor come to life. Each successful test brings cheers and high fives, boosting everyone's morale. Meanwhile, in the simulation room, Human pilots practice flying their spacecraft. They engage in intense dogfights against computer-generated enemies, pushing their skills to the limit. The room is filled with the sounds of engines roaring and simulated explosions, creating a thrilling environment. Pilots shout commands, maneuvering their ships with precision as they prepare for the challenges ahead. General Bonner enters the simulation room to watch the pilots train. He can feel the tension and excitement in the air. As he observes the intense focus on the pilots' faces, he knows that they are ready for whatever comes next. The pilots are determined to protect their home and show the Empire that humanity will not back down. In the midst of all this, the scientists continue to innovate. They work on combining cloaking devices with drones, creating a new breed of stealth technology. These advanced drones can become invisible during missions, allowing them to gather intelligence without being detected. As the preparations intensify, the entire facility becomes a hive of activity. The urgency and determination of everyone involved fuel their creativity. Humanity is not only preparing for war, but also pushing the boundaries of technology. They are ready to face the Empire head-on and show that they will fight for their survival. With each passing day, their fleet transforms into a powerful force. The combination of innovative technology, skilled pilots, and unwavering determination makes humanity feel stronger than ever. They know that the battle is coming, but they also know they are ready. Together with their allies, they will unleash their advanced technology upon the Empire and fight for their freedom. The stage is set, and the preparations for the inevitable confrontation continue with unwavering resolve. The moment everyone feared had finally arrived. The Galactic Empire launched a surprise attack on Earth. It was early morning when dark shadows began to cover the sky. Huge warships, larger than any buildings, floated ominously above cities. Their metallic surfaces glimmered in the sunlight, creating an eerie contrast against the clear blue sky. As the massive ships descended, an uneasy feeling settled over the planet. Panic spread like wildfire. People rushed to their windows, staring in disbelief at the sight above them. The warships were not only intimidating, they were powerful symbols of the Empire's might. General Bonner stood in the command center, watching the unfolding chaos on the screens. He felt his heart race as he prepared his forces for the impending battle. The time for action had come. Suddenly, the Empire's warships unleashed their fury. Orbital bombardments began, bright flashes lighting up the sky as beams of energy shot down from the ships. The blast struck the ground, sending plumes of smoke and debris into the air. Buildings crumbled and flames erupted, creating a terrifying spectacle of destruction. The sound of explosions echoed through the streets, filling the air with a sense of dread. Amidst the chaos, General Bonner knew he had to act quickly. "Prepare our defenses," he shouted, his voice firm despite the turmoil around him. Soldiers rushed to their posts, grabbing weapons and getting into position. The command center buzzed with urgency as everyone scrambled to respond to the attack. Bonner's heart raced as he thought about the safety of his people. As the bombardments continued, the first wave of soldiers from the Empire began to descend. Drop pods, sleek and metallic, hurtled through the atmosphere, piercing the clouds like shooting stars. With a loud crash, they landed on Earth, creating tremors that shook the ground. The doors of the drop pods opened, and armed soldiers poured out, ready to conquer. These soldiers were fierce and well-trained, their armor shining under the sunlight. They moved with precision, coordinating their assault as they spread across the landscape. General Bonner watched in horror as the Empire's troops advanced, firing energy weapons that lit up the surroundings with bright flashes. The once peaceful streets turned into a battleground. In a nearby city, chaos erupted as citizens fled in panic. People screamed, trying to escape the destruction. General Bonner's forces engaged the invaders, firing back with all they had. The sound of gunfire mixed with the explosions from the bombardments created a terrifying symphony of war. Soldiers fought bravely, but the Empire's overwhelming numbers put them at a disadvantage. The battle scenes were vivid and intense. The streets, once filled with life, became a chaotic mix of soldiers and civilians caught in the crossfire. Buildings crumbled around them, and fires raged uncontrollably. In the command center, Bonner felt the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. He had to lead his people to safety while also fighting back against the Empire's ruthless invasion. Amidst the chaos, Bonner remembered the alliance they had formed with the Krell. He quickly communicated with them, hoping they would respond swiftly. "We need your support now more than ever," he urged, knowing that every moment counted. He could only hope that their new allies were ready to join the fight. As the battle raged on, the Empire continued to unleash wave after wave of soldiers. The air was thick with smoke and the smell of burning debris. In the sky, their warships hovered like vultures, waiting to strike again. The citizens of Earth were terrified, but many stood their ground, determined to protect their home. With a fierce roar, the Krell ships finally arrived. Their sleek designs cut through the sky, joining the fray. General Bonner felt a surge of hope as he saw their advanced drones swoop in to assist humanity's forces. The drones unleashed a barrage of fire on the Empire's troops, providing crucial support that turned the tide of the battle. The combined forces of humanity and the Krell began to push back against the Empire. The chaos on the ground became a whirlwind of action as soldiers fought with all their might. Despite the overwhelming odds, the spirit of resistance burned brightly in the hearts of everyone fighting for their home. They stood together against the dark force invading their planet. The invasion had begun, but General Bonner knew that this was just the start. With each passing moment, the battle grew more intense. Earth's defenders were ready to fight for their survival, and they would not go down without a fight. The clash between good and evil had erupted, and humanity was determined to show the Galactic Empire that they would not be easily defeated. The struggle for freedom had commenced, and every soldier was prepared to give their all. The sounds of battle filled the air as human forces clashed with the soldiers of the Galactic Empire. General Bonner stood at the front line, his heart pounding with adrenaline. He had trained for this moment, but nothing could prepare him for the reality of war. As he raised his weapon, he felt a surge of determination. They would not let the Empire take their home without a fight. The scene was chaotic. Soldiers on both sides exchanged fire in a desperate struggle. The Empire's troops were well equipped, their advanced weapons firing bright beams of energy. However, the humans were not backing down. They used their surroundings to their advantage, hiding behind debris and rubble. General Bonner moved swiftly, rallying his troops and shouting commands. "Flank them from the left. We need to create a diversion." His voice cut through the noise, inspiring his men to push forward. As the battle intensified, Bonner and his team found themselves in close-quarters combat. They fought side by side, their weapons clashing against the Empire's soldiers. The sound of metal hitting metal rang in his ears, and he felt the heat of the battle all around him. Every moment was a test of strength and courage. He watched as his troops displayed incredible bravery, holding their ground against overwhelming odds. In the thick of the fight, Bonner noticed his friend and fellow soldier, Marcus, fighting nearby. They had shared countless missions together, and Bonner felt a wave of relief seeing him alive. But just as Bonner turned to give him a nod of encouragement, a blinding flash lit up the area. An Empire soldier had fired a shot, hitting Marcus square in the chest. Time seemed to freeze as Bonner watched his friend fall to the ground. "No," Bonner shouted, his heart racing. He rushed to Marcus's side, kneeling beside him. "Stay with me, Marcus." But he could see the life fading from his friend's eyes. Tears filled Bonner's vision as he struggled to accept the loss. Marcus had been more than a soldier. He was like a brother. In that moment, the reality of war struck Bonner hard. This was not just a battle for survival. It was a fight for everything they held dear. The emotional stakes grew higher as Bonner felt a fire ignite within him. He stood up, fueled by grief and determination. "We fight for Marcus. We fight for every life lost today." He yelled to his troops. His words echoed through the chaos, reminding everyone of the sacrifices made in this battle. The humans rallied around him, their spirits lifted by his passionate plea. They charged forward with renewed vigor, ready to take on the Empire. As they advanced, Bonner led the charge into the heart of the enemy lines. His strategy was clear: to disrupt the Empire's formations and weaken their numbers. The humans moved quickly, utilizing their ingenuity to create diversions and traps. Explosives were set to detonate, creating chaos among the enemy ranks. The ground shook as blasts sent debris flying, and Bonner could see the confusion on the faces of the Empire soldiers. The fight became a mix of strategy and raw emotion. Each step felt heavy with the weight of loss, but it also fueled their resolve. Bonner and his troops fought harder, driven by the memory of those who had fallen. They worked together seamlessly, using teamwork to overpower the enemy. Every victory in the battle was a tribute to Marcus and the others they had lost. In the heat of the encounter, Bonner encountered an Empire soldier face to face. They engaged in a fierce struggle, weapons clashing as they fought for dominance. The soldier was skilled, but Bonner remembered Marcus's training. He ducked, dodging a powerful blow, and countered with swift movements. With a final effort, he overpowered the soldier and took him down. As he stood over his fallen opponent, Bonner felt a mix of triumph and sorrow. With each enemy soldier they defeated, Bonner felt the pain of loss pushing him forward. He was fighting not just for survival, but for justice and freedom. He could feel the stakes growing higher, and he knew that this battle was only the beginning. The humans were fighting back, and they were determined to show the Empire that they would not be defeated. The first encounters of battle were brutal, but they had also ignited a fire within the human spirit. The loss of Marcus would not be in vain. It would drive them to fight harder. General Bonner looked at his troops, seeing their determination reflected in their eyes. Together, they would push back against the Empire, honoring those they had lost and proving that humanity would never back down. The fight for Earth had begun, and they would face whatever came next with courage and strength. The battle raged on, and the atmosphere was filled with smoke, shouts, and the sounds of weapons clashing. Humanity was fighting with everything they had, but the Galactic Empire's forces were overwhelming. Just when it seemed like the tide might not turn in their favor, General Bonner decided it was time to implement a bold new strategy. The humans had been secretly working on advanced cloaking devices, a technology that could make their ships and soldiers nearly invisible to the enemy. This technology was a game changer, and now was the perfect moment to use it. As Bonner gathered his commanders, he explained the plan with a spark of hope in his voice. "We're going to use the cloaking devices to ambush the Empire. It's time we turn the tables on them." His words inspired confidence in his troops, and they quickly spread the word. Soldiers moved swiftly to activate their cloaking devices. With a few clicks and a hum of machinery, they disappeared from sight. The sight of their sudden invisibility brought smiles to their faces. This was their chance to surprise the enemy. As they moved into position, Bonner felt a surge of adrenaline. The Empire's soldiers were advancing, confident and unaware of the trap being set for them. The humans waited patiently, hidden in the shadows, their hearts pounding in anticipation. The air was thick with tension, and every soldier knew that the next moments would be crucial. Suddenly, the order was given to attack. The cloaked soldiers charged forward, their weapons blazing. The Empire troops were taken completely by surprise. They had no time to react as the humans emerged from their hiding spots, ambushing them with a fierce determination. Explosions erupted as human soldiers tossed grenades into enemy ranks, creating chaos and confusion among the Empire's forces. Visual storytelling brought the scene to life as quick cuts captured the intense action. The camera zoomed in on Bonner, who led the charge with his weapon raised high. He fought with the strength of a lion, taking down enemy soldiers one after another. Nearby, his troops engaged in hand-to-hand combat, their movements swift and calculated. Each clash of metal echoed in the chaos of battle. Soldiers used their environment to their advantage. They leaped over obstacles, dodging enemy fire while launching their own counterattacks. The humans showed incredible bravery as they pushed forward, fighting as if they had nothing to lose. General Bonner inspired them with his presence, his determination igniting a fire in their hearts. One soldier, a young woman named Sarah, proved to be exceptionally brave. She maneuvered through the chaos, using her agility to evade enemy attacks. With her cloaking device, she snuck up on an Empire soldier and tackled him to the ground, displaying incredible skill and courage. Bonner watched in awe as she fought, realizing that this battle was not just about technology, but about the heart and spirit of humanity. As the ambush continued, the tide of battle shifted. The Empire soldiers, once so confident, began to falter. They struggled to regroup, panic spreading through their ranks as they faced relentless human attacks. The sight of their disarray filled Bonner with hope. This was their moment, the turning point they had been waiting for. The action escalated further as the humans launched a series of coordinated strikes. Soldiers moved in groups, flanking the Empire forces from all sides. Explosions rocked the ground, sending debris flying and creating a whirlwind of dust and smoke. Amidst the chaos, Bonner shouted orders, directing his troops to press the advantage. Keep pushing forward. Show them the strength of humanity. As the battle unfolded, the visuals painted a vivid picture. Close-ups of soldiers' faces revealed their determination, the sweat and dirt marking their resolve. The camera captured the fierce clashes between human soldiers and the Empire's troops, highlighting acts of bravery that were both inspiring and thrilling. Despite the chaos, Bonner remained focused. He spotted an enemy commander rallying his troops, trying to regain control. With a fierce determination, he charged toward the commander, knowing this would be a critical moment. The two men clashed in a brutal fight, each vying for dominance. The intensity of the combat mirrored the larger battle, as both sides fought with everything they had. As Bonner engaged the enemy commander, he could feel the weight of every lost soldier on his shoulders. He thought of Marcus and the others who had fallen. This fight was not just about victory, it was about honoring their memories. With a powerful blow, Bonner finally overcame the commander, and as he fell to the ground, the morale of the Empire troops crumbled. With the enemy in disarray and the tide firmly in humanity's favor, the battle turned into a glorious fight for survival. General Bonner and his troops fought with renewed strength, showing the Empire that humanity would never back down. The turning point had come, and as the dust settled, they knew they had struck a mighty blow against their oppressors. The fight for Earth was far from over, but now they had the upper hand, and hope burned brightly in their hearts. As the battle for Earth raged on, the skies darkened with the shadows of massive warships. General Bonner knew that the time for the final showdown had come. The Galactic Empire had sent its ruthless commander, a figure known for his brutal tactics and cold, calculating demeanor. This commander was the embodiment of the Empire's tyranny, and Bonner understood that defeating him was essential to securing humanity's future. The air crackled with tension as Bonner gathered his best pilots and strategists in a command center buzzing with activity. Monitors displayed chaotic scenes from the battlefield, showing how the Empire's forces clashed with humanity's defenders. "This is it," Bonner said, his voice steady yet passionate. "Today, we fight not just for Earth, but for freedom. We stand against AI supremacy and tyranny. We fight for every soul lost and every person who believes in a future where we can choose our own destiny." As the fighters prepared for takeoff, Bonner felt a mix of excitement and dread. He knew the risks, but he also believed in the strength of his troops. They were more than just soldiers. They were a symbol of humanity's spirit, courage, and determination. He could see the fire in their eyes, and it gave him strength. The pilots climbed into their sleek ships, ready to face the Empire in the skies above. With the sound of engines roaring to life, they launched into the atmosphere, joining the fierce aerial battle that had erupted over Earth. The sky was alive with action as human fighters zoomed past massive Empire warships, dodging laser fire and weaving through the chaos. In the heart of this tumultuous battlefield, General Bonner's ship raced toward the Empire's flagship, a colossal vessel looming over the scene. He had to confront the ruthless commander head-on. As they approached, the sight of the flagship sent shivers down his spine. It was a fortress in the sky, bristling with weapons and defenses. The battle intensified around them, with explosions lighting up the sky. Human fighters engaged Empire ships, exchanging fire in a dazzling display of courage and skill. Bonner's heart raced as he navigated his ship through the chaos, his eyes fixed on the flagship. The stakes were incredibly high, and he knew that every moment counted. Suddenly, Bonner's ship shook violently as enemy fire struck nearby. Alarms blared, and he gritted his teeth, determined to press on. "We're almost there," he shouted to his crew, who were focused on their tasks. They pushed their ship to the limits, expertly maneuvering around enemy attacks. Finally, they'd reached the flagship. Bonner knew that getting on board would be dangerous, but he had to face the Empire's commander. He led his team through a daring maneuver, bringing their ship alongside the enormous vessel. With a quick decision, they activated their cloaking device and docked quietly on the flagship, unnoticed by enemy forces. Once on board, Bonner and his team quickly moved through the dimly lit corridors of the flagship. The tension was palpable as they approached the command center, where the ruthless commander would be. Each step felt heavier as they prepared for the confrontation that would determine the fate of Earth. The command center was a sprawling room filled with screens showing the ongoing battle outside. The commander, a tall figure clad in dark armor, stood at the center, barking orders to his troops. Bonner felt a surge of anger. This was the man responsible for so much suffering and tyranny. It was time to put an end to it. With a shout, Bonner charged forward, his weapon drawn. The commander turned, surprise flashing in his eyes. You're just a human. You think you can defeat me?" he sneered, a cruel smile playing on his lips. "This isn't just about me," Bonner replied, his voice steady. "It's about every person you've oppressed and every planet you've terrorized. This ends now." The two men clashed in a fierce combat, weapons flashing and echoing through the command center. Bonner fought with every ounce of strength, fueled by the memories of his fallen comrades and the hope of a brighter future. He could feel the weight of the battle behind him, knowing that humanity's freedom depended on this moment. As they fought, Bonner's team worked to disable the flagship's systems, cutting off the Empire's control. Explosions rocked the vessel as their plans came to fruition, but Bonner remained focused on the fight. The commander fought ruthlessly, using all his training and technology, but Bonner was fueled by something greater, his determination to protect his people. With a final powerful strike, Bonner disarmed the commander, pinning him against the wall. "Your reign of terror ends here. Humanity will rise against your tyranny," he declared, breathing heavily. The battle outside raged on, but inside the command center, the atmosphere shifted. Bonner had made a statement. He had shown that humanity could stand up against the oppressive forces of the Empire. As the commander glared at him, Bonner knew that the tide of battle had turned. This was not just a personal victory. It was a victory for every person who believed in freedom and justice. As the flagship began to implode around them, Bonner and his team raced back to their ship, ready to join the fight. The climactic showdown was not just about one man against another. It was about the spirit of humanity, fighting for a future free from oppression. The battle for Earth had reached its conclusion, and the atmosphere was electric with a mix of relief and triumph. The once powerful Galactic Empire, after enduring heavy losses, began its retreat from the planet. Human forces celebrated their hard-won victory, cheers echoing through the air as soldiers embraced each other in moments of joy and disbelief. They had fought bravely, and now they stood victorious. General Bonner, still catching his breath from the intense fight, looked out over the battlefield. The skies, which had been filled with the dark shadows of Empire warships, were now clear. Humanity had proven that they could stand up against a technologically advanced foe and emerge victorious. As Bonner took in the sight, a wave of pride washed over him. They had defended their home and fought for their freedom. In the midst of the celebrations, Bonner gathered his fellow soldiers. He knew that this moment was crucial. "We did it," he shouted, raising his fist high. "We fought for our home, our families, and our future. Together, we showed the Empire that we will not be oppressed. We will not be silenced." His voice rang out with conviction, igniting a fire in everyone around him. They cheered, their spirits lifted by his words. Bonner continued, "But this victory is not just ours. It is a message to all who face tyranny. We will protect Earth and stand together with our allies. Let us build a future where peace reigns and everyone is free." His words resonated with everyone, and a sense of hope filled the air. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with hues of orange and purple, the soldiers gathered for a moment of remembrance. They honored those who had fought and fallen, understanding that their sacrifices were not in vain. Each name spoken was a reminder of the price paid for freedom. Tears mixed with smiles as they celebrated their fallen comrades, promising to carry their memories into the future. In the background, representatives from the alien allies they had rescued approached Bonner. These allies had fought alongside humans during the battle against the Empire. And now, they stood united. The small alien race, once persecuted by the Empire, expressed their gratitude to Bonner and the human forces. "You saved us," one alien said, their voice trembling with emotion. "We will never forget what you did." Bonner smiled and replied, "We are all in this together. Let us create a galaxy where we can thrive side by side." The aliens nodded, their faces filled with hope. This new alliance was a symbol of unity, showcasing that even in the face of overwhelming odds, kindness and bravery could lead to a brighter future. As the night fell, Bonner stood on a hill overlooking the battlefield. He could still see the flickering lights of the campfires where soldiers gathered to share stories and laughter. The sounds of celebration filled the air, and he felt a deep sense of peace wash over him. This was what they had fought for, a chance to live freely, to connect with others, and to foster peace. In the distance, Bonner spotted a group of children playing, their laughter ringing out like music. They were the next generation, full of dreams and potential. He felt a swell of determination. He would do everything in his power to protect this future. He would ensure that the children grew up in a world where they did not have to fear oppression or tyranny. They deserved to play, to learn, and to explore without fear. As dawn broke the next day, a new era began for humanity. Bonner gathered his allies and soldiers once more. "This is just the beginning," he said, his eyes shining with determination. "We will work together to ensure that no one ever faces the Empire's tyranny again. Together, we will forge a new path, a path of hope and unity." The group cheered, their voices rising into the sky. It was a powerful moment, a shared commitment to a brighter future. They had shown courage in the face of adversity, and now they would work hand in hand to create a galaxy filled with peace. The final scene painted a picture of unity and strength. Humanity had faced great challenges and emerged victorious, but it was the friendships formed and the alliances forged that would pave the way for lasting peace. As the sun rose, it illuminated a world full of promise, and Bonner knew that together they could achieve anything. The story concluded with the message that hope is powerful. No matter how difficult the journey, standing together can lead to victory. Bonner looked out at the horizon, ready for whatever the future would bring, knowing that they would face it together.